Hey guys, this is Thoth from the Batsquatch podcast. I was just letting you know that if you're down on your luck, you ain't got any money, and you're sick of begging your parents for money to buy a beer or anything at all, download the Anchor app. The Anchor app is the easiest way to make a podcast. I mean, it's almost as easy as breathing. They distribute it for you. They teach you how to do basically everything. It's kind of like guided meditation for the podcast enthusiast. I mean, this is the easiest thing I've ever done in my life. I mean, I can't think of anything that's easier or more fun than getting on the Anchor app and making a podcast. So get on board and try it out. It's amazing. Thanks. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Batsquatch podcast. This is Thoth, coming to you once again from the Sundance Film Festival. And still, I have no sightings of any satanic ceremonies or any black magic rituals or any Hollywood satanic activities or even any Hollywood Illuminati type rituals happening. There's zero, and just want you to know that that's all a lie. That's the reality. It's a lie. Maybe in government that happens, but not in Hollywood. Not that I've ever seen. So, I guess there's a lot of stuff. Well, there's not a lot of stuff, but a few things happening lately. There was a guy, there was a Bigfoot sighting in Washington State on a Washington transportation trail cam. And I don't know if you guys have seen the video, but it's clearly a guy that looks like he's drunk out of his mind in a Bigfoot outfit. That's one of the worst Bigfoot videos I've ever seen, and I've seen a lot. And I've seen Bigfoot in real life. And I can assure you that that video is not Bigfoot. It's not a Sasquatch. It's just some drunk guy in a suit who wanted to get on the news or television or Ancient Aliens or some other kind of paranormal newscast or whatever. But that guy's clearly not Bigfoot. I mean, the guy's short. He's like 5 foot nothing, walking around in a Bigfoot outfit. So, yeah, I didn't get any psychic vibes from that video. I mean, there are short Bigfoots, but they don't walk like drunk guys after 20 beers, you know. So, another thing I wanted to talk about that is a disease and a cancer in the UFO community. So, Kobe Bryant died and in a helicopter crash, and every time a celebrity dies, the UFO community wants to all of a sudden announce that that celebrity was on the verge of exposing the Illuminati and exposing their satanic behavior, and he was just about to release documents of the human trafficking ring that the government's involved with, that the Illuminati is somehow involved with, and he almost got the documents out, and then the Illuminati killed him. This happens every time a celebrity dies. And it's completely ridiculous and just asinine and completely false. And it's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And it's so ridiculous to assume that you know the mind of a celebrity, their inner thoughts, their everyday thoughts, what their opinions are on mundane, everyday things. I mean, they assume that the celebrity is a far left communist and therefore must be in cahoots with Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton, who, by the way, are still walking around free, talking, giving interviews. They're not locked up. So QAnon, you were wrong forever. QAnon is a psyop from the CIA. If you don't know by now, they've lost so many followers because the majority of what they said never comes true. I mean, I think it was in November 2017 that QAnon guaranteed that Hillary Clinton would be arrested and put on trial for Benghazi and all her war crimes and all this crazy insanity that she's supposedly done, all these crazy things she's done, her satanic child sacrifices and human sacrificing and goat sacrificing, you name it. She's done it according to QAnon. She's the most evil. But with the general rule with politics and anything related is to flip the switch on them. Whatever a political organization is accusing someone of doing, they're probably doing that themselves. So QAnon is probably actually practicing or is probably part of the secret government. And that would make more sense considering that it has hijacked the entire UFO community and turned them into conservative Republicans. Much in the same way that the mainstream media has hijacked the Democratic Party and tells them what's going on and kind of steers their opinions in a certain direction. The QAnon does the same thing to the UFO community, and not only QAnon but the Republican Party. Whatever the Republican Party does is cool in the UFO community. That's cool. No problem. Whatever the Republican Party says is law, is God's law written in stone for the UFO community. Their majority that I've seen, talked to everywhere are in agreement with conservative Republicans. But whatever Ben Shapiro says is written in stone with lightning, and it is law in the UFO community. And now that's a psyop. That's the CIA controlling a mass, well, not a large amount, a small amount of people, controlling them with a group mind, a hive mind. It's not new. They've been doing it forever. And it's funny because the UFO community is kind of bleeds into the conspiracy theory community, and so you would think that the UFO community would be somewhat aware that they're being mind controlled through social engineering, but they're not. And when Trump's gone, when Trump's out of office, their conservative Republican opinions will go away as well. They'll go back to whatever they thought before Trump got elected, and it was the end of days, the end of the world. Remember, it was the end of the world when Bush got elected, and then before that, it was the end of the world when Jimmy Carter got elected, and on, going back in time. It's always the end of the world when there's a new president. This is the end of days. It's going to end. And it never does. How many end of days prophecies have come and gone? Hundreds of them. Every year it's a new apocalypse, conspiracy, prediction, and it never happens because they're insane. They're not actually practicing any spiritual discipline that will allow them to obtain that type of knowledge. They're just believing whatever the Republican Party says. They're just believing whatever QAnon tells them. And it, majority of the time, doesn't happen. Like I said, actually, you can look at Obama. Obama is still walking around. He's the epitome of evil, according to the UFO community. It's not Hillary. And you can say that's a psyop in and of itself, that the UFO community is all focused on Hillary Clinton when Obama is roaming free across the world, causing havoc behind the scenes. The most ridiculous conspiracy theory I remember was the one that Obama was the Antichrist. That was insane. Now why don't you look around in your everyday life and no mushroom clouds are going off in the distance. So that right there shows you that Obama was not the Antichrist. It was a ridiculous idea, especially if you've ever studied Nostradamus. I grew up on Nostradamus and eschatology. Nostradamus is burned and tattooed on my brain, in every cell in my brain. And Nostradamus, the idea that Obama was the Antichrist is so ridiculous, and so it shows such a lack of knowledge in eschatology. It makes my brain hurt. Nostradamus said that the Antichrist would come not from America, but from Europe, Eastern Europe, maybe Asia, Middle Eastern area. He said that the Antichrist would wear a turban. Okay, that's in there. That's always been there. The Antichrist would have a turban, and that's enough. Right there, you're done with the Obama Antichrist theory. That alone cements it into nothingness and oblivion. It was just so ridiculous, just because Obama. Remember, Obama was the source of evil. All evil came spewing out of Obama. He was the source of all evil. And it changes. Every president becomes the source of all evil. Now Trump's the source of all evil. Remember, Bush was the source of all evil. And then Bill Clinton, and on and it goes on. It's the same. Every president is the epitome of evil, blah, blah, blah. And it's ridiculous because the Illuminati are in charge of that president. You know what I mean? Do you think the Illuminati would know who the Antichrist is? Of course they do. The Illuminati are not stupid. These are extremely intelligent people who know what the hell they're doing. And they're not going to allow they know the Antichrist doesn't come from the United States, first of all. And that's why it's so ridiculous to choose political polarity, because no matter who you choose, the Illuminati is always in charge. Bottom line. It doesn't matter who you vote for, the Illuminati's in charge, and they're gonna tell that president what they want done, and if he doesn't do it, then they're gonna mess him up. They're gonna do some serious damage to him in ways he has no idea even exist. So I just think it's ridiculous to say that to say that a celebrity has has access to black operations files and documents and all this stuff is just ridiculous. I remember when Anthony Bourdain died. Anthony Bourdain, he was the one. He was going to save us all and expose the Illuminati for what they are and expose Hollywood for what it is. And it's just insane. The guy was depressed, bottom line. That's the thing that sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes in the UFO world and conspiracy world, it can take you out of critical thinking and take you out of basic reality. And you overlook things like depression. Maybe a celebrity was depressed. I mean, look how many celebrities have chose to leave. And that just proves right there that money doesn't always create happiness. It depends on the individual. Sometimes money does. Money can create great happiness and joy in a person's life. And sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes people need therapy, and they need counseling, and they need they need to go to a shaman and take ayahuasca, and maybe sometimes it might take 4 or 5 times in an ayahuasca ceremony for that person to be healed, to be cured of their depression. And it does cure depression. CNN reporter Amber Lyon is living proof of that. She was ready to end everything, and Joe Rogan told her to try ayahuasca. If you're gonna check out, might as well try it. And she did, and it cured her, completely cured her, 100%. And now she's doing a lot of groundbreaking research in psilocybin and mushrooms. So, it's kind of disrespectful to the families to say that this celebrity, was involved in researching these dark concepts, and when they really weren't, and they weren't doing anything like that. I mean, why would you, if you're living your a life in your chosen career and you're happy, and you die by an accident, or you choose to leave, why would you want to investigate the government? Who cares? Who cares what the government's doing? What they're doing isn't what they choose. It's what the Illuminati chooses for them. That's who controls them. And I think that's pretty much, common knowledge in conspiracy world and UFO world, but not always. Some people choose to deny that and live in denial of it. But I mean, so what? So what? You're living in a Western country. You're living in a first world country. It's not that your quality of life's a little bit better. So I mean, it's just ridiculous to say that a celebrity was on the verge of exposing the government and Hollywood for being satanic, black ops, and participating in satanic rituals and all, which is just, it's insane. By the way, the Satanists in this country, in the United States, are the ones who are actually have boots on the ground defending the Constitution, for God's sakes. You know what I mean? So why is that a bad thing? It's not. They don't even do magic. They don't even believe in magic. They're atheists, for God's sakes. They don't do any magic. They do it for fun. It's to have a party, to enjoy life, and they do a black mass to make fun of the Catholic Church, which is well deserved, because the Catholic Church is evil. You know what I mean? It is. I mean, they killed 80 million people during the Inquisition. So there you go. So, and anyway, I went to a concert. I don't know, it was about 3 years ago, and I saw this band called the Coronavirus at Lollapalooza. Oh man, it was like this death metal band. It was amazing band. They were so awesome. The Coronavirus. Their music is just awesome. Of course, I'm kidding. The Coronavirus, the newest, latest fear porn that's going to end humanity and start the zombie apocalypse. It's not going to happen. It's all idiocy and craziness, and to get you to be in a lower state of a spiritual vibration, so you're scared and all this crazy stuff. Remember Ebola? Ebola was the end of the world, the end of society. Humanity's going to die, wipe us all out. Ebola never happened. Didn't happen. Didn't happen with the bird flu. Didn't happen with the swine flu or whatever that one, all those bird flus and all that crazy stuff. It never happened. It's not going to happen. The whole concept of a pandemic wiping out humanity is just ridiculous. You have to understand how technology advances. It's going at an exponential rate. It's getting farther and farther ahead. And that includes the science of the CDC. They're moving forward, advancing just like everybody else. What's interesting, though, is that the area where the coronavirus came out, there's a virology lab right near there. And, and that's just like icing on the cake for conspiracy world, for all the conspiracy people. And not to mention, they had a Chinese virologist was at the 201 concert with Bill and Melinda Gates. I think it was in October of this year. So that Chinese virologist, he was at the 201 conference which was a pandemic scenario preparation type of conference that Bill Gates put on. And the Chinese virologist was there. And now, that was in October, and now in January, you have the coronavirus wreaking havoc on the world. It's like, it's perfect. It's almost too good for the conspiracy world. You know what I mean? Is it a coincidence? I don't think so. It's happening. It's a zombie apocalypse. It's just it's crazy. So I wanted to speaking of Bigfoot and that guy, that drunk guy in that Bigfoot outfit, it was just too much. It was too fake and too ridiculous. And don't believe it. It's not Bigfoot. You can psychically tune into it if you want. You won't get nothing. There's no positive, loving energy coming off of it or anything like that. It's completely fake. But the Bigfoot in general are spiritual masters. They're rarely here on this earth. They live primarily in the fifth and sixth dimensions, and they came here, or they were brought here by human aliens who are the creators of human beings, and they brought the Bigfoot here. And the Bigfoot have a plethora of spiritual and psychic talents and abilities. They can dematerialize themselves. They can teleport. They can bilocate. They can read your mind. They can communicate with you telepathically. They're multidimensional, and that's why you never see a body, because they're really never here. And if somebody shot a bullet at them, they could just phase their body out, and the bullet would pass right through them. They can leave their bodies, be in the astral planes. A lot of the time, I've noticed that the Bigfoot, they will communicate with you in your dreams. And a lot of times you'll wake up and be like, oh man, I was a Bigfoot in my dreams talking to me, and it'll seem really very real. It's because it is real, because you left your body and went to the astral plane and you hung out with Bigfoot. So I mean, that's something cool, right? That's really cool. Can you imagine if the Bigfoot, like, if they said one day, like, we're going to go to the White House and have a press conference and reveal ourselves? Because the Bigfoot are human. They're a species of human. And those creator aliens, they brought the Bigfoot here during the dinosaur times, and then they brought human beings, the original humans, here about, I think it was about 100,000 years or so after that. So you had Bigfoot and human beings during the dinosaur times, and both of our species, we're both human, and they brought us both here to be kind of like caretakers of the planet, and to evolve, not to evolve, but to progress and ascend spiritually, to become spiritual masters. And that's what happened to the original humans. They all have gone up to the higher dimensions and higher spiritual planes. And so the Bigfoot. And but if the Bigfoot came to the White House and said, "Hey, look, we're here. We've been here for billions of years. And we want to, have a city, a Bigfoot city or whatever." Can you imagine how many sports records would be broken by the Bigfoot? I mean, you got Bigfoot that are like between 8 to 15 feet tall. Can you imagine what their bench press would be? And you don't have enough weight for the Bigfoot to bench press. It's going to be astronomical. I mean, it's going to be like a 5,000 pound bench press. It's going to be squatting even more than that. It'd be like 10,000 pounds squat, 8,000 pound deadlift. I mean, it'd be insane. They would break every record. They'd break the 100-meter dash record. Forget football. You wouldn't. Nobody. How are you going to defend against a Bigfoot? Like 5 Bigfoot on the line, front lineman. You can't. How do you defend against somebody who's 9 feet tall, or 15 feet tall? You're done. That's the end of it. In basketball, they don't even have to jump. I mean, they wouldn't have to jump to dunk the basket. It's just like they just lift their arm up. Some of them would be taller than the basket. You know what I mean? You'd have to raise the I mean, you wouldn't be able to participate in sports anymore. You have to have a Bigfoot league and a human league. You know what I mean? it would be, and baseball would be ridiculous. You know what I mean? They would shatter the ball when hitting it. It'd be crazy, and you wouldn't have. There's not enough steroids in Thailand to beat a Bigfoot. Okay, you could take every steroid, all the EPO in the world. You could hook yourself up to a vitamin blood machine. You wouldn't be able to. You'd be done. You couldn't compete. But I can imagine how far the weights would go out on the bar when a Bigfoot is benching 5,000-6,000 pounds. You'd have to get like these super heavy weights and have like 2 or 3 of them. It'd be insane. But the Bigfoot primarily are benevolent and kind and friendly. Like I said, they're spiritual masters. They're part of the, they're ascended masters, basically. And they're here to help us and to protect us and help us to transcend and progress spiritually. And a lot of the other alien groups, the human alien groups, have come back. They're here now, and they're here to change the spiritual grid on the planet. It's pretty much they're here to change it to a positive grid, a positive vibration, because it used to be a negative one. So you have a lot of different human alien groups and humanoid groups. Like I've had contact with a lot of them, and some of them are human, but they have a animal head, and they're 20 feet tall. Some of them have cat heads in the human body, and some of them are the ancient Anunnaki who were here 400,000 years ago, and they're here to help to raise the vibration of the planet, to help Mother Earth raise her vibration up, and help all of us to go up to a higher spiritual plane, along with the Earth, with Mother Earth. And it's really something that's can affect your life in different ways. It can make you feel can give you anxiety. It can make you feel kind of like disoriented. But the way to fix that is if you're having like these type of spiritual sensations like that, where your energy is rising up to a higher dimension, to a higher vibration. If you just meditate through it, or clear the energy in the space or in the room you're in, it can get rid of that. But a lot of it is simply doing what the Buddha said to do, is to work on your thoughts, work on your mind, sit with your thoughts, sit with your mind and work through them while you're in meditation. It connects all of your spiritual bodies to your physical body. It raises the vibration of your soul and connects you to your heart, because your heart is the psychic center of your body. That's where your soul communicates to another person or to the spiritual world. And that's where it connects. It's right by your heart, and that's why the heart is the center of it, because your heart also works together with your soul. But there's a lot of human alien groups here. The Pleiadians are here. The Andromedans are here. The Syrians, those are the cat people, and the lion people. They're really tall, 20 feet tall. Those lion people, they were here when the Anunnaki were here. They came with them here. They kind of were like their bodyguard types. They weren't their employees. They were just friends, but they were so tough and big. They kind of protected them if there's any negative aliens and things like that back then. You can see pictures of them on the pyramids of the lion people. There's pictures of them, and there's lots of. They were here before that. Before the Anunnaki, the lion people were here millions of years ago, when Hanuman and Krishna were here, and there's pictures of the lion people during Krishna's time, and they're tough. They're really tough, and they will protect you. And that's one thing that you can do if you feel a lot of negative energy, is ask the lion people or lion beings to protect you. And it's really simple. That's all you got to do. You got to remember that the spirit world and your star family, they're only a thought away or a sentence away, and they'll come and help you, because they've all come back to this planet to help change the consciousness of the planet, and to help us raise it up, help Mother Earth raise it up into a higher spiritual plane, into the 5th dimension, and higher, and keep going above that. And they're here for that purpose, and they're pressing a lot of psychic energy and a lot of spiritual energy upon the planet to get people into the path of enlightenment, to raise our consciousness and vibration to the higher planes, to the 5th dimension and up, and also to help us. You might notice that in your dreams that you'll see these type of things. You'll see these type of beings, or you'll be in your dream and you'll be in the astral plane, but it won't be in the bad areas where you got to fight weird creatures. You're in the higher dimensions. Sometimes if you don't remember your dreams, if you don't have a dream, that means you've gone to the higher planes, higher dimensions, and your body simply can't comprehend that high of a vibratory energy or signature. So you simply just don't remember it. But most of them, and all of the human aliens and all these alien groups, they're all working with the ascended masters like Buddha, Krishna, Jesus, or Yeshua. They're all working together, and that's one thing nobody thinks about when they see a UFO. They say, "Oh, that's a UFO. It's got to be like, black operations, or it's government. It has to be government, But it's not. There's so many UFOs happening every day. I have UFO. I have my star family is our Arcturians, and I've met them, and they follow me everywhere. Their ships are following me all the time. I see them all the time in the daytime. I don't see them in the nighttime. I always see them in the daytime, which is weird. But that's where I have a life. A physical body is with the Arcturians. Most everybody is living out multiple lives, multiple existence in higher dimensions. Your soul is like a pie. Look at it like a pie, slices of a pie. Each slice is a life that your soul has been fragmented into that body, and you're living out multiple lives simultaneously throughout a multiverse and throughout the higher dimensions. And that's most everyone, but this life here is the one that you're focused on, where your main consciousness is. And when you die, you could wake up aboard a spaceship in a physical body, because that you've been living that life simultaneously. That's one thing that most people don't realize, is that it's not just a tunnel of light. You can once you die, in a millisecond, you're aboard a ship in a body that you've been in there. Say your body's 25 years old, you wake up in that body, and you'll be aboard the ship, and you'll know everything about that life that you've lived, everything that life, all the knowledge that life has gained. you're not necessarily going to go towards a light, and it's not a trap. You need to go to the light. But one thing is that if you go to the light, and you'll start to see different realms, different dimensions. Don't go towards those dimensions. Just go all the way through, all the way to the top where the light takes you. Don't if you see a relative or something, just don't go over and talk to them or hang out with them. Just keep going where the light takes you. It'll take you right to the top, take you to the Great Spirit or the source of all, which is pure love consciousness. It's not some angry guy who looks like Grizzly Adams, or it's not some hipster with a giant beard that's going to punish you. It's got a clipboard with all these things that you did wrong. That's not what the source is, or what the creator is. It's nothing like that. What it is a pure love consciousness that will give you options, and tell you. And so most of the time, if you go that far, it'll give you options and ask you questions and see what you want to do, because it's up to you. You are a fragment of that consciousness that is the source of all. That's the creator. And just like when you go into a body, your soul also, it becomes fragmented into other bodies and other lives and other dimensions in the multiverse. And it's the same with the creator. You're a fragment of the creator, and you go back to that. And the biggest lie is that God has a beard. It doesn't do that. There is no judgment. There's no hell. There's no devil. That's all a lie. And you can know that by simply leaving your body, before you leave your body, ask for the ascended masters to come and get you and show you the truth about God, about the Creator. That's all you got to do. It's not hard. The spiritual things are hard for Western people. They perplex our minds, and they are the hardest things that we can do. It seems like, anyway. But the way that you can get started on knowing all these type of things and seeing your star family, or your human alien family, and because they are our ancestors, and they've come back. Their lifespans are thousands of years. And the Palladians, they lived here during the Atlantis and Lemuria times, and some of them left. Not all of them died. Some of them left the planet and said, "Fuck it, man, I'm out of here." Some of them went into the inner Earth, built cities, but the majority of people on the planet their majority of their DNA is Palladian, and the Palladians are multiracial. They're not just white people with blonde hair. There's black people, there's Asian, there's all sorts of different people. And that's how it is the majority of the universe. Of all these places, the Palladians, the Anunnaki, the Andromedans, Arcturians, they're all multiracial. That's the way it all is. And they don't really have government. They say some of them have councils, mostly made up of women, and they don't really have they don't have the problems that we have. They're in higher dimensions. They don't have these problems. They just have a council. You can go talk to council, whatever. But that's one thing they do. One thing they do is they'll give their if they have a problem, or they have some kind of more like a mystical question or something, they'll go ask the council of people and things like that. But they're all benevolent. There are negative aliens who don't like us, but who cares about them? They're the ones that you need to kick in the balls and choke them out. And if you can't fight, then you send them unconditional love, and that drives them crazy, gets them away from you. Do a clearing, clear the space out, and that'll get them out of your out of your space. But there's a lot of stuff happening. The human aliens and the ascended masters, they're helping us to go into another golden age, because the Piscean age is ending, and we're going into the Aquarian age, and that's where in the Aquarian age is when you have a golden age of society, where you think something into existence. If I want an apple, all of a sudden it appears in my hand. That's the type of society we're going into. And like I said, we've avoided the World War III timeline. That's all gone. And we're going into a golden age. And that's why all the aliens are here. And the ascended masters are here. And they're here to help us to go into that type of golden age of society, like we used to have. Like we had a golden age in the past. If you read the Hindu Vedas, they had a golden age, and we're going into that. And the way that you can participate in that and make sure that you're able to live during that time, is to do meditation, and to do a lot of self-care and help your body to stay healthy. Do the rainbow meditation that will activate your kundalini. That will really help you to become enlightened and to be able to see the ascended masters and see the human aliens, the benevolent aliens who are here to help us. Another thing is, if you see a UFO, that alone can send you onto the path of enlightenment. That can activate your kundalini, and it can turn on your chakras inside your body and the ones above your body, and it can connect you to Mother Earth. It can be a source of enlightenment, and it can raise your consciousness, because just the fact that you see it alone shows that your consciousness is higher up. You've raised your consciousness to the fifth dimension, to a higher dimension, and it'll continue. You'll start to get synchronicities. You'll see numbers, 777 or 333. You see all these numbers. You'll start to be able to you'll have bursts of joy and bliss for no reason. You'll be happy for no reason. You'll just all of a sudden get a feeling of bliss. Especially when you wake up, you'll start to hear. You'll start to be more telepathic. Like all of our dormant DNA is alien DNA, and part of going into the golden age is having all that activated again. Where if you lose a finger, it'll grow back. If you want to teleport from, say, like Los Angeles to Las Vegas, you can do that. You could teleport. Of course, the surface of the earth is going to be different, but you get the idea. You'll be able to do all the things that the ascended masters can do. You can heal people just by touching them, or just by thinking of them being healed. We won't have all these problems we have now, all these crazy diseases and stuff. That'll all be gone. And that's part of what being in a golden age is, where you're able to spiritually progress to the higher dimensions and the higher planes without anything blocking you or any deterrence. That's what's happening. And that's why the ascended masters are here. And that's why the human aliens have come back. And a lot of them are also come back because they have some karma to work out. They have karma from when they were here, and some of them have karma for leaving us to fend for ourselves, with some of these negative aliens here on the planet hundreds of thousands of years ago. But they're here to help. And the ascended masters and the human aliens, they're here to help us. The Pleiadians, the Anunnaki, the benevolent Anunnaki, the Andromedans, the Arcturians, they're all here to help. And if you just ask for help, they'll help you, especially during before, during, and after meditation. Ask for help. Help to meditate. Help me meditate. Help me raise my consciousness. Things like that. They will help. And you'll start to, higher your consciousness gets up, the easier it is for you to see them and to see the UFOs also. And the Ascended Masters and the aliens of benevolent human aliens have always worked together. And but now they're really coming through stronger with consciousness and to help us out. And that's what's going on now. So I wouldn't, once you get rid of your fear of death, fear of everyday life, realize what you are is a multidimensional being, a multidimensional soul that's eternal, that's always connected to the Creator. There is no separation in omnipresence of the Creator, of the Great Spirit. You're always connected to it. It's always there. All you got to do is ask and meditate and stay in your psychic center of your body, your heart center. Activate your heart chakra, and just by saying that, I choose to activate my heart chakra to connect to the Creator, to connect to Buddha, connect to Krishna, connect to my star family, and it'll happen. And you'll start to notice your life will change. Things will get better. You'll feel better. You'll feel healthier. You'll feel happier. But that's what's going on right now. But I want to tell you guys, if you haven't got to the gym today, you need to get to the gym. You need to get working on your bench press. I remember one time I finished my workout and I showered and I was trying to leave, and there was just like this small little sink with a mirror and stuff by the door, and there was this naked guy who was young, like 25, 26-year-old naked guy, and he was blocking my way to get out to the door of the locker room, and he was popping pimples on his face, and every time he popped a pimple, he'd stick his butt out. I was like, what the hell? I'm trying to maneuver around this dude, and he'd be working on his pimple, and he'd stick his butt out, and it would block the way I needed to go to get out the door, and then he just permanently stuck his butt to that wall and was trying to pop this pimple. And I'm just like, is this guy like on crack? Or is this dude, is this guy drunk or something? It was so weird. It was such a narrow space that, I was just like, I'm just like, do I just kick this guy in the nuts, or do I just do I spray some Axe spray at him or something, And finally, one of the steroid guys, this guy was jacked out of his fucking mind on steroids. He's about 6'4". He had the steroid skin, so when you do a lot of steroids, your skin goes like a pinkish or a purple. If you have darker skin, it'll go like a lavender color sometimes. But this guy was so roided out of his fucking mind. He grabbed he was getting ready to leave. He picked up his gym bag and he walked, and he saw this ass sticking to this fucking wall, and he just went forward and threw that guy into the mirror. I'm just like, holy shit, dude. I can't. I was just like, what the fuck, man? I just don't do crack, I guess. Don't smoke crack at the gym. Smoke weed at the gym. You know what I mean? I just can't. Why? Why would you stick your ass against the wall to pop a pimple? You know what I mean? What the hell, man? It's just like, why? What the fuck? It was so weird, dude. And I was just like, that was weird, but the weirdest thing was this guy he was my age, and he's not an old guy naked in the locker room. He was a young guy naked in the locker room. And I was like, that's weird. Because the old guys who are like 70, 60, 70, they just strip as soon as they enter the locker room. I don't know if like their clothes like dissolve or something. Their clothes are just like all of a sudden gone. And they walk around and they hang out naked in the locker room. They're like 70 years old. And they said they're trying to talk to you. It's like, dude, I don't want to talk to you while your dick's hanging out and your gray hair is like fucking all over the place. I'm just like, get the fuck away. I'm going to kick you in the head, you know? These old guys in the locker room are weird. They sit there and they try and like have a conversation with you while they're naked. They don't even notice you when they have their clothes on. Once they get naked, it's Tinder time. It's time to pick up, try and hit on young dudes. You know, I don't know what the hell they did or why their brains are wired like that to just all of a sudden, I'm fucking naked and I love it. You know, it's like, dude, go to a nudist colony or something. This is fucking insane. I don't want to talk to you while your fucking gray ass hair, fucking tiny dick is hanging out in the locker room. You know what I mean? It's insane. You know, I don't know why they do that, but they do. It's everywhere. Every locker room, every gym I've ever gone to, 70-year-old guys are walking around naked trying to hit on younger guys. You know, and I mean, it's crazy. But anyway, I don't know, man. These naked guys, young naked guys sticking their asses out, you know, against the wall. It's just, what the fuck, man? You know, what? I mean, would they wake up and say, you know what, I'm gonna stick my ass against the wall and pop my pimples at the gym, so nobody can get out of the locker room. You know, that sounds like a cool thing to do today. You know, it's like, what the? No, it's not. Then you got your ass thrown into a mirror by a steroided guy. You know, thank God for steroid guys, because they don't give a fuck. They will fuck you up. They don't care because they're fucking roided out. You know, but yeah, that was some crazy shit, man. I don't know what the fuck these guys think when they go to the gym, you know. But so I hope you guys like this podcast, and if you want to check out my YouTube channel, and if you like it, throw me a coin or something. But if you don't, I don't give a fuck. But anyway, I hope you guys are eating healthy. I hope you're going to the gym. I hope you're doing MMA, and hope you're meditating. And also, don't forget the chocolate. Don't forget the dark chocolate. Dark chocolate will save your fucking life. Because dark chocolate releases endorphins into your blood that makes you feel happy. And it also cleans out your arteries the same way that red wine cleans out your arteries. So if you're feeling, like, you're kind of depressed or whatever, you're having a bad day, eat a fucking shit ton of dark chocolate, because that shit, I'm telling you, it makes you happy. All of a sudden, you're just like happy as hell, and you're not even smoked a joint. And that's the other thing too. Don't forget the weed. Smoke weed every day. Marijuana, cannabis is the healthiest thing on this fucking planet. It was brought here by aliens billions of years ago. It's on the Egyptian temples. There's marijuana leaves on the Egyptian temples. Don't forget that. That plant has a spiritual vibration of healing. And it's illegal for a reason. The government, they know that shit will extend your life and heal your body. They don't, not the government, the pharmaceutical companies. They know that shit will put them out of business. But don't forget the chocolate, and don't forget the weed. A joint a day will send you into the golden age. I guarantee it. It prolongs your life. There's omega-3s in weed. I mean, that has 1,001 uses. There's all sorts of uses. And if you can find the Harlequin strain of weed. It's a sativa, but it's when it goes into your cannabinoid system, it has a healing effect. It has more of it changes once it goes into your body, and you get more of a body high, and it kills pain, it kills joint pain, it kills anxiety, it kills depression. It does all these things. It's multifunctional. The Harlequin strain. It's a red square with an H and a Q. Mostly an H. If you can find that strain does almost everything you want and need, and it won't zap your energy. It makes you feel amazing, kills inflammation, kills pain. It's an amazing thing. So anyway, I hope you guys like this podcast, and just remember, smoke weed every day and eat dark chocolate every day. All right, I'll see you later. Bye.